Hey everybody, I'm Matt McMurray from Campus Automotive in Blacksburg, Virginia and Campus Ford in Waynesboro, Virginia, and today we have the Falken Wildpeak AT4W. So before we go into the deep dive, I want to tell you about a new YouTube channel I started for Campus Ford. Over there it's going to be more content about new cars, reviews, test driving new things, features on new cars, mostly Fords, but some used cars. We're going to tell some stories about the history of the dealership, how I got involved, how old the dealership is. We're going to talk about just about everything kind of in the dealership world. So if you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe to that new channel. We haven't got it fully developed yet, but you should see more content coming on that channel here pretty soon. So I just appreciate if you just went over there and checked that out for us. All right, so diving right in, the first thing we need to realize about this tire, it is 3-peak snowflake rated. And so they got that and they achieved that rating based on the compound of the tire. But you can also see that each tread block has siping. Each tread block is shaped a little bit different, but we have all kinds of biting edges all the way around it. That's going to give us good traction in any condition, most definitely, but also in any direction. So forward and backwards, turning or not turning, straight line. So that's really cool. I think there's plenty of room between the tread blocks. So that's going to help you evacuate that mud and heavy snow. There aren't really any stone ejectors between the tread blocks, but it does have an open outer tread block section that's going to give us a little extra traction out there. So it's an all-terrain tire, but it's a more aggressive all-terrain tire and not one of the more road-worthy, road-ready all-terrain tires that most of the manufacturers are making. Like, this is a true, pure all-terrain tire in the same vein as some of the Nittos and Toyos and also some of the BFG tires. So it's a legit all-terrain tire. But I think this center rib, they've aligned up so that these blocks provide a lot of traction, but also are arranged in a way so that there's a tread block touching the ground at all times. So that just reduces your noise. Sometimes they can use the shape of these blocks to reduce noise too. So all those things kind of play into the fact that it's going to be a really good tire. The scary part about it is the compound change. I know a lot of people love that AT3W. I was kind of on the fence about it. Obviously, I did a couple videos on it, but this new tire has this new compound and it's supposed to last longer. The tread wear warranty is much longer than it was on the AT3W. So you obviously have to do something and something has to be compromised to make that happen. And a lot of times they use a little bit harder tread compound to make them last longer, which will give you a little less traction. And then if you want more traction, you soften up the compound a little bit and give you a little less tread wear. So what they're saying is we have more tread wear, but we're also 3-peak snowflake rated. We should last longer, but we should have more traction, which is going to be interesting. And it could be just because there's a different formulation of the tread compound. I'm not sure. I think we'll find out pretty quick, but I probably would say that it'll probably last pretty close to what they've advertised, particularly on 3/4 ton trucks that don't see a lot of off-road use. All right, first thing we notice, it is 3-peak snowflake rated with this designation right here. We do have raised black letters on this tire. This has two different sidewalls. One side has raised black letters and the other side doesn't. We'll look at that other side in just a minute. But you can see the way that this sidewall tread block design is. It's pretty aggressive so that when you air it down, you're going to get that traction. It's going to keep those rocks from pinching and cutting the sidewall. This 3-ply sidewall is supposed to be way stronger than the AT3W, but it is heavier, significantly heavier. A lot of people don't realize how much of a difference that makes in the ride and handling of your truck, but it makes a ride a little rougher sometimes. But I think the compromise is it's a much tougher tire, and a lot of times, like on your 3/4 ton and 1 ton trucks, when there's more sidewall and it's stiffer, they'll actually help the tread last longer and it'll feel less squirmy on the road and just be a good overall feel. So this little rib right here, I think they do this rib for the most part for sound deadening and sound blocking, but I'm not sure what the purpose is, but I know it has a purpose because it's engineered to be there. You can see that these tread blocks are scalloped, so we got one high one, one low one, one high one, one low one. That's just going to give us a little extra traction and also reduce the noise. This right here is the heat diffuser that they put around the tire, and this is meant to reduce the heat around the bead. So when you're in a heavy duty truck or a truck with big tires that are lifted, these tires generate a lot of heat. So this diffuser is supposed to reduce the heat at this bead to keep tires from failing and to make them stronger. I've never seen another tire with a heat diffuser like this, but it's a neat technology to have, and I kind of like it. We got a small rim protector here. And we got the tire balancing marks here. So this tire is a LT 285/65 R18. It is load range E, so it's a 10 ply rating. So this is a strong tire. Now this particular size tire would go on something like a Ram 2500 or a Ford F250 or maybe one of the GM 2500s. So this particular size is sized for that vehicle. So the great thing is we've got all kinds of these things that are built into this tire, the technology built into this tire to make it strong, last a long time, and get good traction over the life of the tire. Can you see in here? All right, so one other thing that I noticed about this tire is the design of this inner casing. The AT3W was smooth and sticky, and this is more of a serrated kind of look here. I'm not sure what this is for, but I think it looks better. A lot of people that we put the AT3W tires on for, when we use the balancing compound instead of spin balancing it, the compound would stick to that sticky compound inside the tire, clump up, and get huge vibrations, and then we'd have to warranty tires. And it really wasn't the tire's fault. It was more like this inside casing was sticky. But that's different on this tire. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference, but I do notice that it's definitely different. It could be for sound. It could be for strength. I'm not sure. But it looks pretty cool. And that's that. Here's the non-raised white letter side. All right, so you can see that this is the other sidewall design. It's non-raised black letters. It's just like I guess a serrated letter that you can't really see. It's not as pronounced as the other side. We just got to make sure that when we mount and balance a set of these tires, we got the correct sidewall out. So make sure you check if you buy some when you go to the tire store that we got the right side out so they all match. So I also noticed that it had the HD designation on this side too, right beside the 3-peak snowflake designation right here. That's interesting.